Hello and welcome to TTV News. Ladies and gentlemen, the Standing Board of Provincial People's Council in the morning of June 5th have a regular meeting in June to consider and comment on a number of submissions of the Provincial People Committee and some important contents to prepare for the 8th meeting of the 10th term Provincial People's Council. This meeting was chaired by Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tâm, Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Chairman of the Provincial People's Council.
In addition to statements of the Provincial People's Committee, the meeting also considered the official report of the Provincial People's Committee to register the contents to be submitted to the 8th meeting of the upcoming Provincial People's Council. Accordingly, the Provincial People's Committee develops the contents and will submit to the meeting to consider and approve 18 individual resolutions and legal resolutions. At the same time, the Provincial People's Committee also registered to submit reports on the results achieved in the first 6 months of the year in various fields. The Standing Board of Provincial People's Council has considered and commented on the content submitted by the Provincial People's Committee. Most of the content submitted to be agreed will be included in the content of the 8th session of the 10th Provincial People's Council, scheduled to be held in July.
The Standing Board of Provincial People Council in the morning of June 5th have a regular meeting in June. Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tâm, Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Chairman of the Provincial People Council, chairs the meeting. The Standing Committee of the Provincial People Council has considered and commented on a number of important contents to prepare for the meeting.
At this meeting, the Standing Board of the Provincial People's Council considered and commented on the draft implementation plan of thematic supervision of the Provincial People's Council on organization for the implementation of the National Target Program on building new rural areas for the period of 2021-2025 in TayNinhTV province. It is expected that the Provincial People's Council will organize survey missions for relevant departments and branches and some localities in the province before holding a monitoring session for the Provincial People's Committee, which is expected to be held in August this year. The Office of the National Assembly Delegations and the Provincial People's Council also submitted a number of contents to prepare for the 8th meeting of the Provincial People's Council. Accordingly, the meeting will consider 4 reports on the Provincial People's Council, including the report on the results of the first 6 months of the year and the directions and tasks for the last 6 months of 2023 of the Standing Board of the Provincial People's Council and the specialized committees. The upcoming meeting will also consider 9 reports and nearly 30 reports in various fields of the Provincial People's Committee. This includes the report on the implementation of the Socio-Economic Development Plan, public investment, the state budget in the first 6 months of the year, and the key tasks of the last 6 months of the year of the Provincial People's Committee. The 8th session of the 10th Provincial People's Council is expected to be held at the end of July.
In the afternoon of June 5th, the Ministry of Information and Communication have a nationwide online conference with the theme Fundamental Trends in Online Public Service Provision. The conference was chaired by Mr. Nguyễn Mạnh Hùng, Minister of Information and Communications, at the response of the Ministry of Information and Communication, Vice Chairman of the National Committee on Digital Transformation, Standing Vice Chairman of Provincial People's Committee Võ Đức Trong, attended at TayNinhTV Province report.
Mr. Nguyễn Mạnh Hùng said that in the past time, the public service has operated with an online form but has not yet directed to the satisfaction of users. Specifically, it has limitations such as no standards, public service assessment, no connection, and online reports. He hopes that through this conference, there will be a new way to serve online public services before 2025. According to a report at the conference, the percentage of ministry, branches, and localities that have completed the implementation of the information system to settle administrative procedures at ministerial and provincial levels reached 92.77%. Leaders of Hải Phòng, Đà Nẵng, Nam Định, Tây Ninh, and Bình Phước branches discussed, reported on the situation, and gave opinions in contributing to improving the quality of providing and using online public services. Concluding the meeting, Mr. Nguyễn Mạnh Hùng emphasized that after more than 20 years of implementing online public services, it is time for us to make fundamental changes. Changes need to be made, such as trend in awareness, approach and ways of doing online, quality of online public services. Some of jobs that need to be focused and promoted can be mentioned, such as the growth by 2025, over 95% of the dossiers will be processed online. Localities straight in the second quarter of 2023 to simplify administrative procedures in the digital environment, standardized records for 25 groups of essential public services that are used by the most users.
Turn to other news in Tây Ninh Province. In the afternoon of June 5th, the signing conference on broader supply between enterprises in Tây Ninh Province and Ho Chi Minh City unions of commercial cooperative Saigon Co-op were held by Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tâm, Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Chairman of the Provincial People's Council, attended this ceremony on the side of Tây Ninh Province.
Saigon Co-op signed a memorandum of understanding on consumption of TayNinh products with 35 suppliers who are TayNinh specialty producers, including 45 items such as white vegetables, rice paper, chili salt, along with other specialties. After the signing ceremony, TayNinh specialty will be sold at 800 points of sale under Saigon Co-op and distributed to consumers across the country. Mr. Nguyễn Anh Đức, General Director of Saigon Co-op, Chairman of the Vietnam Retailers Association, emphasized that the signing of product supply agreements between businesses in TayNinh Province and Saigon Co-op effectively supports the planning of raw material sources, promoting local strength according to the General Economic Plan, developing regional specialties in order to increase consumption output, as well as promote the continuous improvement of commodity standards in the region toward green and circular economy. Mr. Dương Văn Thắng, Vice Chairman of the Appeals Committee of TayNinh Province, also emphasized that the signing conference on product supply between enterprises in TayNinh Province and Saigon Co-op is very important in order to strengthen the cooperation and connection between the business community, between producers and distributors, in order to promote production and business, socio-economic development in the locality and the Southeast region. In the spirit of the resolution number 24, dated October 7, 2022, of the Politburo, the production, business and consumption of products of enterprises need to be supported by the state, promptly removing difficulties and obstacles, especially for small and medium-sized enterprises experiencing the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the Vietnam Cassava Association, the price of fresh cassava which purchased in TayNinh is increasing higher than the same period in 2022, from 1,000 to 1,200 Vietnam dong per kilogram, fluctuating around 4,000 Vietnam dong per kilogram. In 2023, TayNinh has an area of about 60,000 hectares of cassava, with an estimated output of 2 million tons per year. From the beginning of May until now, in the province, a number of people's winter-spring cassava growing areas have entered the harvest. However, the output is not much, not enough to meet the production needs of the factories. Due to the shortage of input materials, the price of raw cassava is pushed up. Along with the high price of input materials, the price of tapioca starch sold out also increased according to the general trend of the market when the demand for goods from China increased. However, the export of wheat starch products in TayNinh has not yet increased in quantity because the starch inventory is nearly exhausted. Most factories have not yet offered for export. In the morning of June 5th, Tân Châu District Appeals Committee held a launching ceremony in response to World Environment Day. Speaking at the ceremony, Mr. Nguyễn Hòa Bình, Vice Chairman of Tân Châu District Appeals Committee, called on everyone, especially young people, with the role of volunteering by their most practical actions in daily life to protect the environment more and more beautiful and cleaner. On this occasion, Tân Châu District Appeals Committee awarded 400 medals to guide waste classification ashore to Tân Hội and Tân Hà commutes. After the launching ceremony, nearly 50 youth union members organized waste collection around Tân Hội market and distributed propaganda menus to classify waste ashore to people.
Ladies and gentlemen, this year's World Environment Days were launched by the United Nations Environment Programme with the theme Solution to Plastic Pollution, which focused on implementing the campaigns fighting against plastic pollution. In order to respond to the World Environment Day, TayNinhTV Provincial People's Committee suggested that the Provincial Vietnam Fatherland Front Standing Committee, Provincial Social Political Organizations, Provincial Departments, People Committee of Districts, Town and City coordinate to organize practical activity for a green, clean and beautiful world. According to the assessment of the United Nations Environment Programme, environmental pollution from plastic waste is becoming the most urgent problem facing countries around the world. Every year, around 400 million tons of plastics are produced around the world, half of which is designed to be used only once. Less than 10% is recycled. It's estimated that between 19 and 23 million tons are discharged into lakes, rivers, and sea every year. Microplastics are tiny plastic particles that get into food, water, and the air. It's estimated that each person on the planet may receive more than 50,000 plastic particles each year. Disposable plastic that is thrown away or burned is harmful to human health, polluting ecosystem. Over the years, TayNinhTV Province has been implementing many mechanisms, strategies, policies, and projects to reduce plastic waste and protect the environment. Typically, the laws on environmental protections limits the use of single-use plastic products and non-biodegradable plastic bags, encouraging the production of environmentally friendly products to replace traditional plastic products. Responding to the World Environment Days in 2023, TayNinhTV Province strongly conveys the message of building sustainable and harmonious lifestyle with nature, delaying rapid treatment at black spot and plastic waste pollution, especially in residential areas where littering in public places often occurs. I have been training here for many years. I have seen rabbits here all the time. People don't brew it out during the day, they just dump it at night. People don't register their rabbits, they bring it here and they throw it away. And those who register to collect their rabbits, they don't throw it away. TayNinhTV Provincial People's Committee suggested that Vietnam Fatherland Front Standing Committee of Provincial Social Political Organization, Provincial Departments, People's Committees of Districts, Town and City replicate effective models in organizing the collection, classifications, and treatment of domestic waste and plastic waste ashore. At the same time, command and reward organizations, individuals, community, and interact with typical achievement and initiative in environmental protection activity, especially solutions and initiative to reduce plastic waste, strengthening propaganda of the provisions of the laws on environmental protections and sanctions for violations of the laws on environmental protection to the masses and members of associations and unions. The police force will use emails and propaganda leaflets, and we will concretize and simplify the provisions of the law to be able to convey the most important and understandable issues to people. Recently, the People's Committee of TayNinhTV Province issued a plan to implement the National Environmental Protection Strategies to 2030 with a vision to 2050, with a goal of preventing the trends of increasing pollution, environmental degradation, solve urgent environmental problems, step-by-step improve and restore environmental quality, try to achieve sustainable development goals on environmental protections by 2030. That's all for TTV News today. Thank you for being with us and goodbye for now.